Okay, so perfect. Right, you can see my screen. Great. So today I want to teach us on levels. Right, I want to teach us on levels. If you're on the elite package, you would have access to levels, right, for Forex. But if you're not on the elite package, you can simply get levels as an add-on from your back office. I think it costs about $23, right? So you want to make sure you have that. You can use levels for Mamba, HFX, and you can also use levels for Forex. In fact, levels was ideally created for Forex, okay? So once you have levels, you want to come to strategy and you want to click on Lifeline, not Mondays. Mondays are for, it's for Mamba strategy when you have your M5, right? But if you want to use it for Forex, which is what I'll be teaching on today, you want to click Lifeline, all right? So once you do that, you would see this here. This is how it will appear, right? Now, I'm going to make sure that this training doesn't last long. So I'm not going to talk so much on the nitty gritty. I'll just teach you how to literally copy and paste trade ideas from the Levels platform on your MetaTrader 4. All right, that's all I'll be doing today. So you can see M15, H1, H4, D1, and etc. So usually on levels, what you want to do is, first of all, set on your notification. So you go to help, so that way, whenever there is a trade idea, because you see these guys here, these are different trade ideas. Yeah, these are different trade ideas. So once you set on your notification, what happens is that whenever there is a trade idea on this app from any of our educators, you would literally get an email, right? So you want to go to subscribe to notifications and then turn this guy on here and then turn this guy on here. So once you're able to do that, you would immediately have access to the notifications that come whenever there is a trade idea. So you get an email that comes up. Yes, and you can do this on your phone as well. You can access this on your phone as well. So that way, if you don't have a system, that's no problem. You can as well use your phone, and you would also get the notification on your email. So once the notification comes and it tells you that there's a trade idea here, right? And on the notification, it will also tell you that probably it was seen on a M15, or that's 15 minutes candle, or H1 or H4, regardless, it should definitely state it. Now, first thing I want to correct here is that whenever you get an email that says something like a trade idea was seen on M15 or H1 or H4, it doesn't mean that after, let's say, 4 hours, right, the trade is no longer valid. That's not what it means. It also doesn't mean that after 1 hour, the trade is no longer valid. That's not what it means. It simply means that that idea was seen on while analyzing the market for 1 hour. So on a 1 hour candle, that idea was seen. So what you just want to do is just come to, if it says H4, the notification says H4, come to H4. If it says H1, come to H1, then search, you'll find that trade idea there. So there's a message that says, I don't get emails. So you can set it up just like what Coach has just said. So yes, that should be something you can do behind. All right, guys. So now, once you've gotten that notification and you are here, the first thing you want to look at is, forget this bullish engulfing. I would have explained it, but because of our time, I don't want to bore us with that explanation, right? So I just want you to just note the important things. That's all, so that anybody, if you don't know much about trading, with just these little basic steps, you'll be able to make money. Literally, I used to tell people that, you see, all of these trade ideas here, this is money, this is money, this is money, this is money, this is money. Every single thing you see here is money. It's just money looking at you. Now on Forex, like Levels app, about 50 trade ideas or more are called every single day. By the time you calculate H4 plus H1 plus M15, you will see that there are a lot of trade. Just today alone, can you guys see how many trade ideas have come in 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 6 hours ago, just on M15, H1, the same thing. So all of this is a lot of money that most people are not taking advantage of. All right. So once you come on it, all you just need to pay attention to is this sign here, this color here, whether it's red or if it's blue. That's all you need to pay attention to. So if it's red, that means it's a bearish momentum. That means the market is going to drop. You're looking at signals, for the market to drop. If it's blue, it means that it's going to be what? A bullish momentum. The market is going to come up. right? So forget this bearish engulfing and bullish engulfing. You don't need that information right now. All you just need is this red and blue guy here. So now, I would need to, for some of you that probably didn't go through maybe the Forex launch call, you might need to probably attend that as well, because that will be important. But I will try and see how best I can explain in such a way that you would be able to understand regardless. Now, this trade idea, as you've seen in front of my system, you can see the red sign. So that means we're looking at a bullish momentum, a bearish momentum rather. We're looking at a bearish momentum for the market to fall down. Now, whenever you see this candle breakout, guys, can you see it? The candle breakout. If you can see this candle breakout on my screen, just put 222. If you can see this candle breakout, this candle breakout and this arrow here, if you can see it, put 222. I want to be sure you're seeing what is on my screen. If you can see this, please put 222. Please put 222. All right. Great. So that means we can say it. So this simply means that this is when the trade idea was called, right? This is when the trade idea was called at this time, right? So what you want to pay attention to is the moment you see the trade idea, the first thing you want to do, very easy, basic step that you don't need to crack your brain around, is to count how many lines that we've got here, right? So you want to make sure you zoom out well enough to be sure that you are seeing all the lines. Okay, in this case, we've got like, how many black lines do we have? We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 black lines. So sometimes you might have 6 black lines. It's either it's 5 or 6. Now, in a case where we have 5 black lines, what it simply means is that we're going to have take profit 1, take profit 2, and take profit 3. So in all the notifications that come in, there's always going to be 3 take profits. You'd always have take profit 1, 2, 3. We don't have take profit 4 or 5, anything like that. No, it's always going to be 3 take profits. And there's also going to be a stop loss, 1 stop loss. And then it's possible to have 1 or 2 entry points. So if you see 5 black lines, it means we have only 1 entry point. If you see a case where we have 6 black lines, I will show you an example of that. It means we have 2 entry points. But take profit would only be 3 in number. Stop loss would always be 1. You need to just mark that. With that, you can immediately identify which ones are your take profits, which one is your stop loss, which ones are your entry points. All right. So in this case now, I think most times people love bullish momentum. So let's start with the blue one first, because it's easier from that point. And I will explain in a bearish market. And then, yeah. So in this case now, let's calculate how many do we have. I think we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what if it's showing 3 black lines only? It's not possible to have just 3 black lines. There must be, so levels, everything has been done for you on levels. If everything is set, you don't need to crack your brain. Our educators have been able to already analyze the market to give you different entry points for your take profit and your stop loss and entry points, right? So if you have that kind of scenario, then you need to bring it forward to me, then I'll check that out for you. But yeah, so in this case, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 black lines. So this tells us what we have: 3 take profits, 1 entry point, and 1 stop loss. Now, I showed you guys that candle breakout. So obviously the trade idea was caught at this point. So now in a bullish momentum, what that simply means is that this will be our take profit 3. This will be our take profit 2. This black line, take profit 2. This will be our take profit 1. That means this black line is our entry point, and this is our stop loss. All right, it's as simple as that. Take profit 3, take profit 2, take profit 1, entry point, stop loss. So whatever that reading equates is what you're supposed to put, on your MetaTrader, whatever the reading is. So now let's look at this practically. Most times when people trade, what they want to do is they always want to put maybe take profit 2 or take profit 3. But I do encourage beginners that when you are starting, there's no need to be greedy. Just always put take profit 1. So that, because it is very easy for this market to hit take profit 1 faster than it is for it to take profit 2 or 3. It is possible that the market will get to take profits maybe 2 and then begins to fall back and then goes up again or something. But most times it is very easy for this market to hit take profit 1. I'll show you examples to prove this point. You'll see that about 85% of these trade ideas here would always hit take profit 1. So if you enter the market, you would definitely always come out in profit. 85% always come out in profit because it's easier for the market to hit take. Like, look at this idea. It was called 2 hours ago, but just in a matter of few minutes, this idea would actually hit take profit 1. It's almost there. It almost hits it. So if you had entered this market, you'd actually be on your way to profit because you'd have entered at this point, which is your entry point, 1.12132. You can see it here, 132. That's your entry point. So now, if you're that kind of person that you're saying, no, you want to eat so much from the market all at once and all of that. So the best thing to do is, instead of thinking, take profit 3 or take profit 2, you can enter multiple times on this entry for just take profit 1. So instead of entering 1, that's what I did. Like last night, I took a trade, right, from levels. I took 3 trades, and I took all 3 from the same entry points, all for take profit 1, and all 3 hit take profit 1, and I made my money from that. So literally, you can do that. I feel that's wisdom, right? Because then you come out of the market with profit. Okay. So now with that, you're able to see that you have take profit 1, 2, and 3, but you're working with just take profit 1 because you want to clear faster. All right. Please, if you've understood that thus far, just put 333 on the chat box. If you've understood that thus far, put 33. So I'm going to ask some questions just so that I'm sure that you're following and you understood the little thing I've just said. You can see it's actually not complicated. Right. So now in this case, the question would be, what is our take profit 3 entry? What is our take profit 3 entry? Just so that I'm sure that you guys understood that little explanation. What is our take profit 3 entry? What is the value? What's the reading of take profit 3? What's the reading of take profit 3? What is the reading of take profit 3? 732. Perfect. That's take profit 3. What is our entry point here? What is our entry point here? We only have one entry point in this market. So what is our entry point here? What is our entry point here? 132. Perfect. Perfect. So we are understanding. Yes. So this for a bullish. Now let me show you for a bearish. It's the same thing that happens with a bearish, right? It's the same thing. And we're going to now check out some other trade to see if they really played out. I'll show you some trades. These trades have just been called 2 hours ago. So that means it's still in play, right? It's still in play. So you probably have to give it more time. So now in this case, the first thing, like I said, you want to check is how many lines have we got? So in this case, 5 lines. Good. So in 5 lines, that means we have 1 entry point. And since it's a bearish momentum, so that means our take profit would actually be down, right? And our stop loss will be up. In case you don't know what a take profit and a stop loss is, then please, you got to attend our beginners class that's on your launch call, right, for Forex market. So they will explain what TP and stop loss is. So I won't bore us with that education right now. So this would be our stop loss, right? That's 0.8934. So a quick question would be, what is our take profit to, guys? What's our take profit to? Based on what has been said, what's our take profit to? All right, so I'm seeing that some people might not understand bullish and bearish. I'm so sorry. I love Millie Mills so much that I've gotten used to that word bullish, bearish. So let's use sell and buy, because I see most people would understand that sell and buy. So when I mention bearish, I mean a sell. And when I mention bullish, I mean a buy. But going forward, I'll use sell and buy. So in this case, we're looking at a sell. So whenever you see this red, it means it's a sell. If you see this blue, it means it's a buy. All right, so that's a call and put. Okay, so yes, what's our take profit? 2, 2, 3, 4. Guys, you guys are brilliant, smart. So you see, it's very easy like that, right? Now let me see if I can find one with 6 lines instead. And I think someone that asked me, what if the lines are just 3? What you want to do is to zoom out, right? See this guy now. If I didn't know better, I'd have thought there were just 3 lines, right, coming here. But once you zoom out, that's the first thing you want to do, because there would always be 5 or 6, right? So you want to zoom out well enough. Sorry, I got distracted. So you want to zoom out well enough so that you can be able to see this well. This should have, I think I need to zoom out some more. Let me use another one that would be easier. Let's use another one that'll be easier. Well, I'm using an Apple, a Mac product, so you can use any of this. If you can understand how to zoom out well on your system, then that will be better. Okay, let me see. Let's go back to that and see. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm looking for 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking for 6. Wait. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we've got 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So now, guys, see this one. It's 6 lines. So I'm going to ask a question now. This is a sell. This is a put. This is a bearish momentum. So it means that the market is supposed to come down, right? It was sent to us 3 hours ago. Now, with this, if I'm to ask, what is your second entry point? I hope you can see my screen well. What is your second entry point? What is your second entry point? Can you check the reading and tell me, what is your second entry point? What is your second entry point? Someone says 231, 231. Perfect. Perfect. So we are understanding. So let me explain that real quick. The first black line is our stop loss. Remember, I said in a 6, when we have 6 lines, it means that we've got 2 entry points. We have 3 take profits and 1 stop loss. This would always be the formula: 3 take profits, 1 stop loss. So it's very simple. Knowing that this is a bearish, which means sell and which means put, right? It means that we're going to have our stop loss as the last line. So this is a stop loss. After stop loss is your first entry point. So this entry point 1, that is 1.34365, right? That's your entry point 1. Entry point 2 is the one that ends with 231, right? And then you have your take profit 1031, your take profit 2 831, and your take profit 3 631. It's as simple as this. Now let me take it a bit further, just so you understand. When we say entry point 1 or 2, it simply means that if you saw this idea and the idea has left your entry point 1, it means you can also still take that idea on entry point 2. So that means in this case, I can take this idea for an immediate order. I can take this idea anywhere around 365, between the zones of 365. That's this guy right here, the second to the last black line, and 4231. That's the entry point 2, right? So you can take this idea anywhere around here. Now see how this idea has already started playing out. Let me show you. If you got this idea immediately, the notification came in and you took it, that means you would have entered this idea. This is when the idea was called. This is when it was called, right? Whenever you see the candle breaker, that's when it was called. So if you took this idea at the entry point 1, which was 365, right, which was this point, you could have actually gone past entry point 2 and gotten to your take profit 1, gone out of the market in profits. Because like I said, we're not greedy traders. So we're not looking out for, I personally don't look out for entry take profit 2 or 3. I just work with take profit 1. I take like 3 or 4, clear my market and go with my profits. As simple as that. So you would have literally in about 2 hours or less, because this is 10:30. So that means this idea got to this point around this time, right? So at this time, you would have already cleared the market in profits, okay? And then now I'm going to tell you something. You see all of this that is going back, there's a pullback. So I'm going to explain how pullback can be of advantage to you. Now, but if you've understood that simple explanation thus far, just put 555. If you've understood that simple explanation thus far, put 555. Put 555. And then I'm going to explain something that in case, for example, you come on the market and you see that, oh, probably you were busy, you didn't get the notification on time, you came so late, maybe you're like me, you're just checking the market right now, and you're seeing that, oh, this particular trade idea was called, I'll use this to explain since it's doing a wonderful work. This particular trade idea was called 3 hours ago, and you still want to partake in the market. Let me tell you how you can do that. I'll try to make that fast and then we're done. How can you still participate in the market once it has left your entry point or the entry point that was called? Now, in what we teach, we don't teach you how to chase markets. We don't chase the market. The market has to come to us, right? We are patient traders. And that simply means that we've created a platform in such a way that if the market has gone, you can wait for it to come back and meet you at your entry point and get into market again, and you literally will still make profit from that particular trade idea. What do I mean? Now we have 2 types of orders on Forex, right? And those 2 types of orders are, we have the immediate order and then we have the pending order. We have the immediate order and the pending order. For those of you probably have attended launch calls, right? You would have probably heard of that, the immediate order and the pending order. Or if you're actually watching or looking at your videos that we've provided on your IM Center, they would explain what it means, your immediate order and your pending order. Your immediate order is what we call market execution. Many people always do market execution. You just go to your MetaTrader 4, and immediately you are either clicking a buy or a sell, right? So in market execution, that's an immediate order. It simply means that wherever the market is at that very moment, it will take you in, right? So your trade becomes active immediately. But whenever you are late and you come in and you see that this was 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago, but you still want to benefit from this trade idea, what you want to take advantage of is what we call the pending order. The pending order. Most times people neglect it, but this is where we really cash out, right? Last night as well, I actually put 2 pending orders. One has actually already played out. I'm waiting for the second one to play out. So pending orders do play out. About a week ago too, I took another pending order. I saw a trade idea that had gone. I was like, okay, I still want to participate in this trade. I took a pending order and it played out, right? So pending orders are also good, and you need to know how to use them. Now, there are 4 pending orders that we do have. Guys, do you know what they are? If you can list out the 4 pending orders that we have on the chat box, that would be great. What are the 4 pending orders? What are the 4 pending orders? What are the 4 pending orders? Just list them out if you know them. These are basic things that once you are a part of what we're doing, you should already have answers to this. Great. Sell limit, buy limit, buy stop, and sell stop. So we have 4 pending orders. Simply call it the buy limit, buy stop, sell limit, sell stop. All right. So it's as simple as if we say a buy limit, we're looking at market going up, right? So you're looking at maybe bullish ideas like a buy, right? As the name implies. So you are looking at a call, the market going up. If we're saying a sell limit or a sell stop, we're looking at the market coming down in literal form. So you're looking at a sell, looking at a put, you're looking at a bearish momentum. Now I'm going to show and share, I'm going to pause this for a moment and share a different screen to explain in short form, how can you identify or how can you take trade ideas that could probably play out for a sell limit, for a sell stop, for a buy limit, for a buy stop, right? How can you understand those terms real quick? Because if you don't understand those terms, you won't be able to follow a trade idea once it has gone, right? Because like I said, we don't chase trades. We're not chasing the market. The market has to come to us. Like this guy right here, if anyone probably took maybe a particular pending order, you will literally be enjoying yourself right now because the market is giving a pullback, right? It's giving a pullback. So with a pending order, you would actually be happy about this market. So I'm going to share another screen right now to explain real quick. Let me stop this particular, let me pause this one or literally stop it. I would share another screen so that you can see, and I will try and make it very fast as well. So guys, once you can see my whiteboard, let me know. Once you can see my whiteboard, let me know. Just let me know. And also forgive my handwriting. As a medical doctor, we don't know how to write very well. So yeah, all right, guys. Nice, you can see it. Okay, good. So let me know if you're seeing what I'm about to type. Once you can see it, let me know. So you guys said we have buy limits, right? And then we have buy stop. Then we have sell limits. And then we have sell stop. Is that correct, guys? Yes or yes? Is that correct? Is that correct? Let me see if you're following. Is that correct? Perfect. Perfect. So now, when we say, I'm going to try and use different symbols so that you can understand real quick. So for a buy limit, I would be using a tick. For a buy stop, I'll be using a dot. And then for a sell limit, I'll be using 0. And then for sell stop, I'll be using plus, right? So I'll use this to identify the different points. Then where the market is at, I'll use S, right? Where the market. So now I want to explain a buy limit. When we say buy limit, what do we mean? When we say buy limit, what do we mean? When we're trying to set a trade idea on a buy limit, what do we mean? Now, let's assume that the market is at 45. Okay, so this is, let's say 40, 30, 35, say 20, and this maybe becomes 50, this is 60, this is 70, right? So because it's a buy, that simply means that we want the market to go up. And right now, this is where the market is at 45. This is where the market is at 45. When you are, so that means you come on the trade, right? You come, you check your levels, and you see that right now the market is at 45, and you want to set a buy limit. What that simply means is that, let me change the color to green. What that simply means is that you probably take any trade, any entry point below this 45. So let's say 60, and we're using a good. So let's say 60. You put the your order, you take it at 60, and then that simply means that you want the market is at 45. So that means instead of it to go up, first of all, you want it to come down. You want it to have like a bearish momentum. You want it to, pull back a bit, hit your 60. The moment it hits your 60, then this trade becomes active. So until it hits your 60, the trade doesn't become active, right? So like I said, we're not chasing the market. We want the market to come to us. So in this case, we're saying, oh, 60, we want the market to come and hit us at 60. You've been able to predict, this market will definitely come and hit me at 60. So you are like saying, this market should hit at 60. And immediately it hits at 60, it should begin to go all the way up. All the way up. That's what you're saying. Let the market hit 60 and begin to go all the way up, right? Because it's a buy limit. That's what you're saying. But now, the reason why you are saying it should hit at 60, now I'll use, for example, Bitcoin and USD that is playing out right now. Now, for example, because I've been in a class like this, and one of the students asked me, why do we want the market to come down first? Why can't we use maybe 30 or 35? Since we want it to be a buy limit, since we want it to be a buy. And then what I explained was Bitcoin. Now, we remember time when Bitcoin was at 50 something thousand, going up, and then it became 40 something thousand, and then it fell down to 30 something thousand, and all of that stuff. And right now, people are patiently waiting, right? So some people have not entered the market. Maybe, at 30 something, they're like, no, if I enter a buy at 30 something, what if the market falls down some more? So I won't be in profit, right? I'll be in loss. So some people have been able to analyze the market in such a way, they're like, if this market is able to hit 50 again, it would definitely keep going up, right? So let's assume in this case, that's what we're trying to do. So let's say in this case, Bitcoin was at 45. Let's assume Bitcoin was at 45. And we're like, okay, Bitcoin's at 45. This market would actually still go to maybe 30. So let me not enter right now. Let me not enter right now. Once this market is able to hit 60, let's assume we want it to actually go up. So once the market is able to hit 60, then I'm sure that once it hits 60, that 60 range, then there's no how it would take off, because the lowest it can probably get to is 60. You've been able to do your market analysis to that point. Do you get me? So that's why we use buy limits. You take a certain entry point that you're sure that, okay, once market hits here, then definitely to keep going up. And in this case, you don't have to bother your head too much, because our educators have literally done that, right? From what I was showing you before, the entry point has already been given. So the entry point probably was 60. And right now the market is at 45. All you need to do is set a buy limit so that the market will come back to this, your entry point, and become active, right? And still move in profit. I will take us back to what we were saying before so that you will see that it actually played out. But that's a buy limit. Now, let me explain quickly a buy stop. A buy stop is almost the same thing, but personally, I don't like buy stops, to be frank. What I always use is buy limits, right? It's because most times maybe the trade has left me and I still want to partake in that trade. So I just use a buy limit. Now, the market is at let's say again 40 or 45 this time. So there's 40, 30, we played out again 35 and blah blah blah. We have 50, we have 60, and we have 70. Okay, so with a buy stop, right, with a buy stop, you want to pick anything above the price where it is at the moment. You want to pick anything above. For a buy limit, you want to pick something below the price. For a buy stop, you want to pick above the price. So in this case, it will probably be, let's use maybe 30. I'm going to ask you guys a question just to make sure you're fully, you'll be the ones to explain a sell limit for me. So it's at 30, right? So that means you want that the market is at 45 right now. So you're going ahead of the market to wait for it. You're going ahead of the market to wait for it. I don't know. I've never used this buy stop. So you're going ahead of the market to wait for it, right? So I've changed the numbers. You could as well do the numbers the other way around. I mean, you could do so in this case, this is increasing for me, but you can do it this other way if that makes more sense for you. 50, 60, since most people know this as increasing, right? You can do the other way, it doesn't matter. And then you can do it as maybe 40, 30, 20. You can do that as well like that in case it will make more sense for you. All right. So then we've got, so the market is here. The market is at this moment 40, is at 45. This is S. So this is where the market is at right now. So now with a buy stop, what you're choosing is maybe the market should be at 50. So let's say this guy here, right? So with a buy stop, what you're saying is that you want the market to come up to 50 and then your trade becomes active, right? So up until it comes to 50, that trade is not active. It's just a pending order, waiting for that market to hit 50. Once it hits 50, then because it's a buy, what happens? You want the market to keep going all the way up from 50 to 60 to 70, and it keeps going, right? That's what you want. So, but with this, I don't know. I mostly don't use that. So I always use buy limit, but that's just by the way. So that's a buy stop. Very easy to understand. All you just need to know, remember about limit and stop is that limit would always be below the price where the market is at, and stop would always be above where the price is at. If you've understood that thus far, just put 111 on the chat box. If you understood that thus far, we're almost rounding up. If you've understood that thus far, put 111. If you've understood that thus far, so that we can explain a sell limit, sell stop, I'll take us back to levels, how you can literally follow this. And then that's, you're ready to start making money, literally. You're ready to start making money. If you've understood that thus far, put 111 on the chat box. So let me erase this. Or let me see how I can shift this to another side. If you've understood that thus far, put 111. Let's see how we can explain a sell stop on this part. Okay. All right, brilliant. So a sell stop, guys, a sell stop. Now let's assume you're going to answer a question now for me. So let's assume the market is at let's use at 45. So by the way, okay, let me erase this for you so that you're not confused. Let me use the other way around for you. So let's say this is 50, 50, 60, 70, 80. The numbers don't matter. What matters, it's the pips, what we're calculating in profit. Then let's say this is 35, 25, maybe 10, just anything you want to put there. So yeah, let's go back to this. So let's say this is 45, this is 50, this is 60, and let's say this is 35, 25, and blah, 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 20 and 10. Now, guys, for a sell limit, where would you take your entry? For a sell limit, between these figures that I've given, what area would you take your entry? For a sell limit, what area would you take your entry? Let me also change the color to blue. For a sell limit, where would you take your entry? Okay, I've seen some responses. The rest, where do you think you take this entry? Where do you think you take this entry? I see 50, I see 60, I see okay, we're on a sell limit. For a sell limit, where would you take the entry? So we're asking like at what point would you take your entry for a sell limit? For a sell limit. Someone says 60. Great. You guys are actually correct. It means you guys understand. Perfect. You're going to take above the price. So somewhere around, let's say, so anything above 45 is correct for a sell limit. Anything above, so let's use 50, right? So we want that the market should go up to 50 And then after it does that, what should happen next? It begins to fall down because it's a sell, guys, because it's a sell. You want it to come down, right? So you want it to, it's at 45. You're patient. You're a patient trader. You're not rushing. So you're like, this trade will definitely come back to hit me, you right? I always use a sell limit as well, personally. I use sell limits. I use buy limits. So you want the market to hit this 50 or 60 or anything above that entry point of 45. So it begins to fall down. So if you see very well, sell limit and sell limit, sell stop, buy limit, buy stop, they're actually just opposites, right? They're actually opposite. Why a buy limit is down, a sell limit is up, guys. Why a buy limit is down, a sell limit is up. Very simple. Now let's quickly now do a sell stop. What's this thing? Black signal, right? A sell stop. Let's do the same thing again. Let's assume this is where the market is at 45. Then we've got 35, 25, we've got 20, we've got 10, and then here we've got 50, we've got 60, and blah, blah, blah. So for a sell stop, guys, where do you want to take your entry? For a sell stop, where do you want to take your entry? For a sell stop, where do you want to take your entry? For a sell stop, where do you want to take your entry? I see 35, I see 25. Man, you guys are brilliant. It means you're following. This thing is very easy. But most people do not know that it's easy to understand pending order. Yes, you want to take anything below 45, anything below your entry point. So we have a plus. So let's say we're using 25. So you want the market, you're going ahead of the market. You're going to wait for the market, right? In a sell stop. You want it to hit 25. And because it's a sell, you want it to do what? Fall all the way down, all the way down from, so let's use from this point. Let's use from this point so that you'd understand. Okay. So you want it to fall all the way down from this point, from 25, right? So you want it to hit 25 and it begins to fall all the way down. Very simple, very. So you see, it's the opposite of a buy stop. A buy stop, you're picking above the price. A sell stop, you're picking what? Below the price. So personally, you want to just understand how it works, right? You want to understand how it works. So this again is buy limit, right? Or how I like to understand it first is buy stop, which means above the price, BS, buy limit, which means below the price. And then a sell becomes the opposite of this. A sell becomes the opposite. So that means for a sell, the first thing that we'll have above the price is a sell limit. This is how I simply have understood it, so that I can always remember. Because when it's time to take the trade, you can't be cracking your brain. You need to make that decision. What pending order are you taking? You need to make it very fast because the market is moving, right? So you need to know which of these, is it a buy, so is it a buy limit, is it a sell limit, is it a sell stop? You need to know which of them you are taking very fast. So with this formula for me, I'm able to understand. Once I have gotten what it is here, I know it's the opposite for a sell. So once I know what it is on the buy, I know it's the opposite for the sell. So stop above the price, limit below the price. That's for a buy. For a sell limit, the limit is above the price, sell stop is below the price. If you've understood this thus far, you know it's very easy to understand. Please, guys, put a 777 on the chat box. So I want to just take us back now to levels and show you how to literally put this. And once we are done with that, then we are done for today. If you've understood that and you believe it's easy, then you want to take note of this, either screenshot my screen right now if it makes sense for you, or just write down what you understood. All right, everyone put 777, 777, and then I'll show you the last magic. 777, and then I'll show you the last magic. How then can we do this? Let me see if I can still share my screen. Okay, I have to pause this one first. All right, so once you can see my screen, while I show you the last magic for the day, just let me know. The last magic for the day, let me know. All right, you can see my screen. Just let me know that you can see my screen. I think you can see my screen. Guys, can you see my screen? Oh, can you see my screen? Put 111. You can see my screen. Okay, yes, you can. Perfect. So now see this idea, right? Let's assume this idea is already playing out, but let's assume, right, that you came and okay, let's use this one still. We're going to use this and I'll use another one. This is a perfect example because this is
this is a bit not what you see most of the time whenever you jump on and you want to take a trade idea from this. So let's use this. I'll see if you guys are really following. And yeah, especially my students, because this is a new one, so I'll see if you're really following. If you still want to follow this trade right now, it's 3 hours 3 hours ago it was sent, and you still want to follow this, at what point, or let me ask first of all, what pending order would you use here? We have 4 pending orders I explained. What pending order would you use here? What pending order? The market right now, can you see where the market is at the moment? Let me show you. The market is at this, you see this green dots, dot, and you can see the green mark, yes. So that's where the market is at the moment. Okay, so guys, what pending order would you use? Think very well, think closely, right? Think closely. What pending order would you use for this? What pending order would you use for this? What pending order would you use for this? Everybody, what pending order? It's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. It's not the usual one that you would work with. Well, that's why I'm asking the question, because it's funny. What's pending order? You see, most people are falling for the trap. It's a bit tricky. But yeah, think closely, think well. Right now, you see where the market is at. Remember, we are only going to be working with the entry points that our educators have caught for us. Someone once asked me, can I use my entry points? And I'm like, on what grounds? On what basis? We have educators who have analyzed this market, and they have literally given you the entry points. This is entry point 1, this entry point 2, right? You can't take anything outside of these entry points. You have to enter either one of these 2. Why? Because before they give this entry point, they have analyzed the market. They have used different things to analyze this market to say, this is the zone to enter. If you decide to enter your own zone, you're at your own risk. All right. So now, based on that, now you guys think again and answer my question. People are changing their minds. Okay. What entry points? I'm saying it's definitely not a buy, guys. Why? Because you've seen this red stuff. So because of this red stuff, it's obviously a sell. So I don't expect to see a buy. It's definitely not a buy, it's a sell. But what sell is it? Is it a sell stop or a sell limit? Is it a sell stop or a sell limit? Remember, limit is what? Above the price. Stop is what? Below the price. In this case, is a what? Is a stop. It is below the price we're trying to enter. Let's see. Where's the price at? The price is here, 482. 482. Where is it? It's at 475. Guys, can you see where it's at? 475. Normally, it would have been a sell limit, because most times we use sell limit, but this is an unusual case. It doesn't always play out like this, right? So that was why I gave it to us as an example. It's an unusual case. Since it played out, I just wanted to just ask you guys. Normally, where this market will be at, maybe for a sell, when you probably see it, maybe to be around here, maybe it's at take profits already, maybe take profits too, and you still want to participate. So what you're saying is like, Father, please let this market come back to my entry points, either entry points 2 or 1, and in that case, you'll be using a sell limit. But this one, it has gone down to almost stop loss area, right? But you still want to enter this market now and participate, you'll be using a sell stop. You don't always use it, but it's, well, the market presented itself for us. All right, this is another one again too. It's another one, another sell stop. Let's see this one. Okay, yeah, this is another perfect example for me. So guys, what pending order would you use in this case? What pending? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, put 111. If you can hear me, put 111. Okay, perfect. So in this case, guys, what pending order would you use? Let me see if we have very good students. What pending order? I've shown another one. What pending order would you use in this case? You want to still follow this market. It was 2 hours ago, it was sent, but you still want to make profits off this, right? You still want to make profits. Guys, remember to look at this symbol first. This will tell you whether it's a buy or a sell, guys. Tell you whether it's a buy or a sell. This will tell you whether it's a buy or a sell. Let's see who's getting it. All right. I need more responses. I see sell limit. I see it can be a buy, so that's out. Sell limit, sell stop, sell limit, sell limit. So the sell limits have it. Yes, this is a typical one. So most times you see that, because the trade ideas always play out. So most times you see that you're the one that is running behind the trade idea. So you want to now set a sell limit, so that what will happen? So this market will have more green candles
push it back up to this point, your entry point, and then afterwards, you want it to begin to go all the way down. That's a sell limit. You want it to push it back, and then it goes all the way down. If you've understood that, I mean, guys, this is very easy and basic. Please put 222 if you've understood that. Please put 222. The last thing I want to show you is how this trade ideas finally played out. How this trade ideas finally played out. Let's look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this guy. I've seen the question. I would answer it briefly now. Look at this guy. Guys, this idea was called at this point. Whenever you see candle breaker, that's where the idea was called. Our entry point was supposed to be, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our entry point was supposed to be either this or this, right? So let's assume I saw this idea immediately was called and I entered at entry point 1, right? Which was 650. Guys, I would have passed entry point 2. I would have even gotten to my take profit 1 and got into my take profit 2 and almost reached my take profit 3, but we're not greedy. So I only work with take profit 1. So let's just stop here. And so I would have literally been in profit with this trade idea. It's amazing, right? Now let's look at another one. I'm going to just show you a couple of them, right? So that you see what's going on, how you guys are missing money that is being called for all of us to eat. We're missing it. All right, let's look at this one. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 as well. So in this is our stop loss. If you entered at this point, right? So it's when the idea was called. So you enter at this point, you'd have actually gotten up onto this point. The idea is still playing out. It has done a pushback. So in case maybe you missed it, you can still enter and blah, blah, and it's going again. See, it's going back again, right? So if you enter this idea around this area, you'd have actually gotten take profit 1 already, cashed out and gone your way, literally. Let me show you another one. You see what you're missing here? I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll literally show you. I'll show you. You need to see what's going on. I'll show you. So in this case, let me see if you can see. If you enter this idea around here, right, you'd have literally gotten at least small bonus to go home with. I want to count how many lines are here, whether it's 4, whether it's 5 or 6. I think it's, my stuff is not coming. I think it's actually 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the probably is the 5th one up there, 5. So with that is 1 entry point. So this is obviously our stop loss. So you entered here, you'd have cashed out already from here, take profit 1. So take profit 1, you'd have cashed out already. All right, let's move to another one. Let me show you. You see what I'm showing you guys. So it's 12 hours ago. So in this case, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this one is still playing. This one, yeah, it got to that point as well. See, it got to see this one. It got to this point. You see this week, right? So it means it got to this point. You'd have gotten your take profit 1, and you'd have gone out of this market as well. You're seeing it. You're seeing what I'm showing you. You see what I'm showing you? I kid you not. The day I saw it, I was like, what? Like, see money here, money. And no one is understanding. No one is using it. Look at this. Look at this guy as well. Even got almost to take profit 3. So if you just use take profit 1, you would have cleared. And now it's giving a pushback, right? You'd have cleared well. Like, guys, are you seeing 17 hours ago? Look at this as well. Look at it got to this point, almost take profit 3. Are you seeing, guys? If you entered it since, right? So you want to literally take advantage of these ideas. It plays out. I've checked this over and over and over again. It's always playing out. 85% of the trade ideas called out here always play out in a day. Just take 10. Leave it. You don't need to monitor. There's a stop loss there. Take it, sleep, do your stuff. By the time you come back, you're seeing you're in profit. All right. Yes, you can take any of them. You can take, guys, you can take M15, you can take H1, you can take H4, you can take any of them as long as you know how to set a pending order. That's why I explained the pending order for you guys. So you know how to set a pending order, and even if the trade has gone, you can, set a pending order so that it comes back to your entry point, okay? So when it comes back to your entry point, then it becomes active, okay? And then the notification you would get would always tell you whether it's M15, whether the trade idea was found on the 15 minutes candle or 1 hour or 4 hours. Guys, if you've understood TOSFA and you see that this makes a lot of sense, can you put a 222? If you've understood TOSFA and you believe this makes a lot of sense, please put 222. Please put 222. Someone once asked me, is it possible to just jump into the trade? Why do we have to wait for it? You have to wait for that entry zone because somebody has analyzed the market for you, right? You can literally decide to analyze the market yourself. At times I analyze market myself because the same thing you do for HFX, those who call trade ideas for HFX, is basically as a result of the knowledge you have of Forex, right? So you can literally mark out zones yourself for this. But why bother stress when you have educators that have done it for you and all you have to just do is copy and paste it? So don't create your own zone. Work with what has been called. Because if you enter any point outside the zone, it might not play out, right? Yes, I think there was a question earlier. Let me go back to it real quick. If there were 2 entries, would I put it at the second entry instead? So it depends on you. Let me see if 1 of 2, and it depends on you. If it's, for example, a bullish momentum, and the time you check the market is at entry point 1, I won't wait for entry point 2. I will enter entry point 1 because even if he gets to entry point 2, I'm in profits. Because obviously entry point 2 will be above entry point 1. But if you come for a bullish moment, sorry, I keep saying bullish, for a buy, right, for a call, you want the market to go up, you come, you see the market, and it's probably around entry point 2 zone. That means you can still benefit. So you enter the market at entry point 2. You won't go to entry point 1 because it's already. So at that point, it's your call, literally. You can do entry point 1 or 2. It depends on how you want to play things out, right? So it's entirely up to you. It just depends on where you see the market at. Then I think another question was, if on the alert panel it says bullish, but on the chart is bearish, which do I pay attention to? I've already said, don't pay attention to the wordings, okay? Don't pay attention. This is another training on its own and another teaching on its own. I could do that right now, but time is already gone. You need to know what an engulfing candle is, right? Like, once you understand what an engulfing candle is, then you would understand what is going on. But for this, the way levels has been created, right? You're not supposed to pay attention to bearish engulfing, or because it's not the same. It says bearish engulfing, but it's telling you should look for bullish ideas, right? But what you need to just pay attention to is this symbol, yeah? By the time you follow your, what's it called? Your videos on your IM center, you'll be able to understand what an engulfing candle is, what a bearish engulfing candle is. Let me see if I can find one on this thing. While I'm trying to, let me see if I have any other question. Wait, let me see if I find 1 minute. It says, when do we enter take profit 2 and 3? Okay, you can enter take profit 2 and 3 if you want. I just don't go with take profit 2 and 3 because, well, I'm not a greedy person. I want to take the little I can take and run home. So I rather enter take profit 1 couple of times than take profit 2 or 3. But you can do that if you trust the whatever, you can take profit 2 or 3. What you just need to do is you need to now pay attention to that trade idea so that once it hits take profit 1, you can now try to do what we call break even. So it means you take your stop loss to your entry point. So in case the idea doesn't finally play out to take profit 2, you'll be able to come out of that market, probably not in profit, not in loss, at least break even. That's what it means. So for that, you want to monitor the trade. But the probability of a trade idea hitting take profit 1 is far higher than it hitting take profit 2 and 3. So I just work with that. Let me see. Okay, if that's zone area thinking, I wanted to be clear. All right. Yes, I'll show again how to do the notification stop one last time. So I doubt that happening before you hit take profit. Okay. All right. So guys, any other question before I show you one last time how to turn on your notification? Yesterday, it wasn't as a result of notification. So yesterday, I just came, I checked, and this one 2 hours, down 2 hours. Okay, let me see which pending order can I take. And luckily, one of them, it was 2 hours ago, but it was still around the entry zone 2, entry point 2. So I took it and yeah, it played out, right? And then did a pending order too, played out. If the price hits the stop loss before the TP1, it takes you out of the market. Yes, it does. At a loss, right? Yes, it does. It takes you out of the market. But the thing is, let me see, the chances of that happening is very slim, honestly. Let's look at the ideas for ourselves, right? We're all here together. Chances of that happening is very slim. And sometimes that's why some people, if they have 2 entry points, they'll probably go with entry points 2, because with entry points 2, you are farther from your stop loss. So it depends on you, right? With entry point 2, you're further from your stop loss. Let me see. I want to really check that out if it's possible. I've never seen anything like that play out myself. So let's see. Because what happens is when the trade idea is called, it first of all goes in the idea of the trade. Do you get, see where our stop loss is? See the best this red guy did. This is the best he did, right? That's the best he did. Let's see where our stop loss is. Have you seen anything around here? Like you hardly see it happen that way. Yeah, true. I don't see it happen that way. Like, see where our stop loss is. See, the guy will first of all go straight. Like, it's very easy for this thing to hit take profit one. If only you had like, it's very easy because the first direction it will go is going to hit that take profit one. When it hits take profit one, what will probably happen is a little pushback, right? And in the process of pushback, it is possible you can hit stop loss. It is also possible that it will just push back small to your entry point and begin to go in the direction again. I've studied this thing over and over and over again, right? So it's a win-win for you. It's a win-win for you. See this guy, it will even look like it almost did, but it didn't. See, it didn't. So now, if you're in this trade, it's taking you back again on the trade to fall. All right. So, any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Okay, let me check. Okay, is it like swipe coin scalper that we wait for it to break and close? That's to break even. Yes, well, if that's what you're asking, coach, that's the me. I don't bother with take profit 2 and 3, even in this thing. I don't. Since the day I learned that, I don't bother myself with take profit 2 and 3. I just want we take profit 1, enter multiple times. But yes, I think that's exactly what could play out. You can break even and then, yeah. So guys, any other question? Great. So let me show you how to turn on the notification again. You come to help. Remember, when you come to strategy, you want to make sure that you're putting lifeline. You want to make sure that you're putting lifeline, right? Then you want to go to help. And afterwards, you go to subscribe to notifications, right? Go to subscribe to notifications. And then you can just, this guy here, turn him on. So you have two types of notification, right? You have the one where it means that if you are on, let's say, any of this stuff, like you're on your browser, the notification will just come on, right? And then you can also get notification on your email. You can also get notification on your email. All right, let me check. Any question? Exactly, I haven't. It's usually market execution. I mean, before we enter the market. Oh, before you enter markets? No, I don't think so. No, we don't wait for break and close here. So, okay, great. It's market execution. More amazing. All right. Yeah, so yeah, market execution. Once you're able to see it and you enter, this is here. This is, let me see, is this lifeline? Yeah, it's lifeline, correct. So once you enter, you see it around the zone, you enter, and then of course, you're able to make your stuff off that. So guys, if you've understood and you've gotten value, we're about to close, we're about to wrap up. If you understood and you've gotten, can we turn on both notifications? Yes, you can. You can. If you've gotten value from the call thus far, put value, 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 value. Yes, you can also use your phone, guys, for this. You can use your phone. You can use your phone for those that don't like. I'm only using my system just for better view, guys. Just for better view, so I can share my screen. But all of this can be done on your phone and you can still get your profits. Okay, if you've gotten value, just put value, 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 value. If you've gotten value, you've understood, you're ready to make profit, you're ready to make money, right? See all of this money just looking at you and you are crying. And see money here, you're sleeping. This money, it's amazing, guys. Honestly, it's super, super amazing. It's super, super amazing. And this is just one product. This is just one product. On one day, I'm going to teach on Vibrata. Like, there are so many products that the IM Academy has, and no one probably, you're not using it. You just focused on one. So many products. You're on the elite package, you have access to all of these things. Web analyzer, that's Vibrata. You can use that, make more money. Imagine making money from levels using web analyzer as well, just for Forex alone. Just Forex. Now add DCX, right? Add DCX to it. So guys, yes,
Great. I'm hoping to see all our results. Take these ideas, take about 10 of them a day, take it on your demo account and see it play out. Just take it, copy, paste, sleep. The next day, check it for yourself, see yourself in profit, take another 10 again, minimum 10, 10, 10, right? And then, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. It's a great honor. Big thanks to Coach Emanuela for allowing me to do this for the entire team. I'm super grateful. And thanks to the other coaches as well on this call. So guys, hope to see you at the top, right? So thank you so much. Good night, guys.